Ouch. What the heck? Ooh. I was sewing pin on my floor. Oopsie daisies. Anyways. Okay. The hood I have on currently, I did a bunny ears. But that's just because I took a shower. Bath? Question mark. I took a bower. Okay, good enough. What, you're still in my face, dude. Get out of my face. What? Okay, that works. Okay, anyways. Took bath shower. Because I shower and then I take a bath. Because I don't want to use the bath water on my hair. Because that kind of feels gross. You know? Anyways. My hair was wet and I was like, I look like a rat when my hair is wet, so the front half of my hair dries first, so it's technically like 10 o'clock, but I wanted to record a video. So also, I found like a little ping pong ball on my floor. Wow, ooh. I found a little ping pong ball on my floor while I was cleaning my room today. Oh, by the way, I'm posting this like the day after I film this. When I'm posting this, it's gonna be my birthday, so that means I probably am gonna be either I'm gonna be ignoring YouTube purely for the purpose of, so then I can later look at everything and be like, wow, and be happy, and have really low expectations of everything, or I'm going to be immediately responding to everything. I don't know, but I wanted to pre-record so then I could just spend my entire birthday crocheting alone in my room, or sewing, probably both. But yeah, I'm going to be 17, which I think on the last video I said that it would be my birthday tomorrow, which today when I'm posting this. Yeah. I also trimmed my hair, if anyone notices my bangs being shorter. I trimmed all my hair, which has nothing to do with the hood, by the way. That's just because my hair is wet and I look like a little rat. Oh no. But I also felt cozy, so I was like, hee. I felt like the ping pong. Oh my gosh. I look like a mischievous and like plotting. Anyways, I took a bath, showered, took a shower. I was gonna mix it up a different way, but then I was like, took a shack. That's not even, anyways. Shoth. I took a shoth. Wait. I said that as if like bath is pronounced both. Anyways. I also have tea. It's very warm tea. Warm tea? Smack my camera thingy. My phone stand, which is a shoebox, and a little phone holder thing I made out of cardboard and hot dog and hot glue. What? I made it out of cardboard and hot dogs. Girl, I don't even eat hot dogs. When last time I've seen a hot dog? I don't know, man. Oh my gosh, I don't like hot dogs. Just the texture of them. I don't even know if I like them or not. It's just sensory issues, man. Ooh, my brain is silly. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Oh, I also found a pink duck on my floor as I cleaned my room. It was next to the pink ping pong ball. Pink ping pong ball. Pink duck. It's kind of more of a purpley color. Is it? No, I think it's a little orange stain on it too. I think that's just manufacturing error. So it's on the other side. No? Okay. I felt like a Dora. Like, can you see the orange stain? Me too, man. Me too. Miku. Hatsune Miku. I have a Miku shirt. Bro, I tried to use, like, I didn't try to use Vocaloid, like, try to, like, figure out how to use Vocaloid. I just tried to figure out how to use, like, Utaloids. Except I can't actually download Utalo. And I had to do, like, there's, like, another version, because I have a Mac computer, because it was my mom's, and then she gave it to me, because I had a dying Windows 7 computer that was, like, dying. I don't even know what brand it was, dude, but it was, like, girl, it took me, like, an hour to turn that thing on. It was on life support, okay, and I pulled the plug, literally. I unplugged it, and it is now sitting next to all of my scrap fabric under my desk. Anyways, it's like something Utaloid. Anyways, I tried to figure it out. Could not figure it out. Sadly. Well, I could a little bit. I probably could try again, because I didn't. It, like, made sense for the most part. I was mainly playing around with the vibrato though, because it was really funny to just make him go like woo. Because I found like a vocal synth, a new Utaloid someone made. That sounded kind of similar to Oliver, the Vocaloid Oliver. And Oliver is my favorite Vocaloid. He's a silly boy. He's also a British. I think he can canonically at least, or maybe also the voice provider. I don't know. Is British. That's just a funny little fact. I think he's mainly only my favorite Vocaloid because of, like, or at least the reason he started to become my favorite was because of, like, the Ghosts and Pals song. What's it called? It's not Trypophobia, because I remember the animation meme that was used with it was literally called the Trypophobia meme. But it was Amygdala's Ragdoll, that's what it was. I'm also doing Amygdala's Ragdoll currently and my drum teacher, because he was like, okay, we're gonna move on to another song now, and I was like, I didn't prepare a song, and I left my phone in my backpack in study hall, and I was like, sir, we're across the school, I can't just, like, all of my, like, Spotify, I don't remember who I listened to. Who do you think I can off the top of my head? Like, I literally was like, I don't know, Miku. Completely forgot every artist I listened to, somehow. I was put on the spot, man, okay? I didn't know what to do. I was like, dude, how dare you? And I could remember Ghosts and Pals after we were talking for, like, a couple minutes. Yeah. Cool thing during that, like, oh my goodness gracious. She was, okay. I saw the thing. Okay, that actually fell. It went like, and then it landed back in my hand. I showed you his butt. Squeaky. Anyways, that day of, like, study hall, that day at school, last Wednesday, when I was at school. Anyways, that day of school, that's when I have my drum lessons on Wednesdays. But that day at study hall, that hour, the study hall monitors let us go outside because there's an outside door right next to our study hall room. And we were allowed to go outside, and my friend and I were trying to find worms. We didn't find any worms. But I did make paint out of rocks, so that was fun. We went outside and we frolicked. Anyways, yeah. I got this pig from the dentist also. I've gotten a lot of stuff from the dentist. Like I got this guy, which I showed in a video at some point. I got this guy. I also got the octopus guy that I forgot. I think I named him, but I forgot what I named him, dude. He's somewhere in here. I also got this guy. I like my dentist. They're cool. He squeaks. Squeak. You have a squeaker. There's a squeaker right there. Sorry, you're exposed. He's indecent. Thank you. Silly little pig. I'm gonna put him on my mic that I have over here. Oh, heavens, you fell. I have a mic over here, by the way, which I'm gonna be using for streaming, because I can stream. I'm gonna be streaming my computer. I can't connect my mic to my phone. I literally bought an adapter for it to be able to connect my mic to my phone. I bought a whole adapter. This is like $7 or something. I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but yeah. I spent money on this only for it to like not work. Well, like it worked. It worked with the audio. I swear the audio was just like it kept cutting in and out, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it was like, I was like, shut up. And it was like the audio was fine. It was like a little bit staticky, but it's always staticky because it was like a $30 mic. Okay, it works really well for a $30 mic actually. Like, okay, it's pretty, and also she works well. See, pig. Oh no. Anyways, she's pretty, right? She's pretty, and she works well. Okay, for $30. There's like also a little stand to screw in, and little grippy things. But I just put it on this little coaster thing I made. I made this on the mic. Oh heavens! I made this. I crocheted. I quite literally just made like a circle, and then I did a shell stitch across this. I think I did mainly double crochets. In case anyone's like curious about like how I made this, because I just did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, I thought I did like 10 maybe. Apparently I did like 9 stitches. They look, I think they're double crochets. They might be 9 or 10. And then I just did increases, so that'd be like twice that amount increases, and then an increase on every other for this row, and then an increase every 2 stitch. It's pretty much the standard like circle, how circles work, how circles are crocheted, and then a little shell stitch, which essentially to do the shell stitch, you kind of like, how I did this at least, it's like I have 3 in this main part, and then between those 2 I did a single crochet, so 3 double crochets in this, and then the next stitch single crochet, 3 double, 1 single, 3 double, 1 single, and then it kind of makes like a all the way around. Okay, yeah. So yeah, in case anybody was curious, I don't know if that actually made any sense. That's just kind of how my brain, like every single, like, I don't know, I just have noticed that like every time I do like a circle, it's like always the same kind of shape, roughly, like the same pattern. So that's, I freehanded this, by the way. Pretty much everything I crochet, I often freehand. Because it's like everything is very consistent with how everything works. So it's like, okay, like it's like the same vibe, you know? It's like sometimes I follow patterns. I mainly will follow patterns for my crochet class. Oh, heavens. I knocked over an empty can. Okay, that's cool. Anyways, I very rarely actually follow crochet patterns. It's like I usually, what the most I will do is like look up a video, watch the video at like 2x speed, and get the general gist of what they said. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm gonna make that myself. Because usually I can just look at something, and if it's pretty simple, I can just be like, okay, I can duplicate that, right? I've learned a couple new stitches. I've learned one new stitch, which I forgot what it's called. And I haven't used it yet, but I know how to do it. It's often used for like baskets, and it kind of mimics a knit look, where it like the look of knitting, where it's like a whoosh, 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 instead of like a whoosh, 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 you know? I don't think that made any sense. Anyways, because like crocheting, there's always like, if you're doing like a round, it's always gonna end up as a slant thing, because every time you crochet, for going above every stitch, it's like it's like here's a stitch, here's the top of said stitch. So like, if that makes sense. So this is stitch, top of stitch. It's not like stitch, top of stitch, you know? So there's always like a slight slant, because then if you put another stitch, then you put another stitch, then you put another stitch. That's kind of like how my crocheting always has like a slant to it. Unless you're then going back and forth between rounds, and you're like turning the work, because then it's like stitch. So then you turn the work, and it's like stitch like that. This is top of stitch, this is stitch. So then you have stitch, top, stitch, you flip it back around, and then it's, you know? I don't know if that made any sense. It makes sense to me. That's just how my brain processes it. So I'm like, yeah, like it evens out kind of thing. Like you have like one stitch that's going like this way, so it's kind of like woo, but then you have the stitch on top of it that's going like that way. You know? Because like top of stitch, stitch. But then you stack a stitch on top of it, because when it's going the opposite way and you like turn the work, you have it like that, you have stitch right here, then you have top of stitch. Wait, no, it'd be stitch right here, top of stitch. No, I did that right the first time. Stitch right here, top of stitch. So you put a stitch on top of that, stitch right here, top of stitch. And then it balances it out. But then it kind of just ends up, you know, if you take that, though, that just like averages out to being like that, kind of. So it'd be, you know? Like that's how like crocheting stitches work. These are things that like, this is how I understand crochet. I hyperanalyze everything when I'm crocheting. It's very easy. It's kind of the way how I analyze like socially, like how to socialize with people, you know? Which that's a very neurodivergent thing, and I recognize that. Okay, that's a little silly of me, but also, you know what, that kind of skill set and that method I use to analyze socially stuff helps me analyze crochet stuff. So that's a benefit. So that's a good thing I'm doing. So I'm just cool and gamer. And I'm just cool and gamer. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. I smacked my hand on the pig. And also this. And also crochet hook. You know how there's like dog hair everywhere if you have a dog? Dog hair everywhere. You have a cat? Cat hair everywhere. You have a crocheter? Crochet hooks everywhere. Or yarn everywhere. I will find yarn everywhere. I leave my room and then I'm like, oh, I had yarn on my foot, because hold up. a piece of yarn on the floor for a second, and that would have been really funny because I vacuumed this room. That wasn't even where I thought I saw the yarn. Like, I thought I saw a piece of like the fluff, like fluffy yarn, like a little piece of fluff that came off of that yarn. You crochet, the yarn gets everywhere. Okay, it's like glitter. Okay, it doesn't get out. It stays, man. It stays. It will never go away. It stays. Do I have more yarn down here? Ouch. That was a sewing pin. Okay. No, just the one piece of yarn. Not even like I had a whole skein under there. That would have been really funny if I had a whole skein because I recently reorganized all my yarn. By recently, I mean like last week. But also, that's pretty recent because I don't reorganize my yarn very often. Oh, there's a box. Lost my box of sewing stuff. Random box of sewing stuff. I'm covering this because this was like has like a label of, because this was like initially a box that was shipped to my mom of stuff, and then I took the box, I guess. I don't know. I yoinked the box. I said, my box now. But then it has 2 different stickers for our address. So, that's silly, I guess. Anyways, scrap fabrics. And then also, more scrap fabric. And also, more scrap fabric. And also, a little guy. Maybe his mouth was here. I think his mouth was supposed to be here. Oh, wait. Wait, is this, wait, huh? He's a little silly. I'm not quite sure what this guy was supposed to be. He was a prey animal though, clearly, because he has eyes on the side of his head. Like a deer. Which is interesting. More scrap fabric. I like this fabric. It's pink and lacy. But you see, I don't know what to do with this. Oh, this is like the fabric. This, and then also like, not you. And then also like this. And then also like, and also this. And also these. It's late. I should sleep soon. But of these, and I think a couple other ones that I just forgot where I put them. Were all came in the same sewing kit that I had. Her. She has pins sticking out of her back right now because I use her as a pin cushion. Anyways, they were all in the sewing kit that came with her for making little dresses. So I can make like, little dresses. Ooh, get it, girly. Get it, girly. Yes. Ooh. And make another one. Oh, she's stuck. Maybe you should like have a lining under this one though. And that last one too, because it's see-through. Ooh, get it, girly. Get it, girly. Yes. I think it's kind of obvious that I'm a little sleepy. I should go to bed. I don't know, I'm like mischievously laughing. I'm like, hehehe. Was this the foreshadowing from the ping pong log? My eye is itchy. Okay, we good, gamers. Okay. Bye-bye. I heard a noise. Oh, it was my sister going to the bathroom. Okay. The bathroom's right next to my bedroom, so that's why I was like, huh? I still have a roll of toilet paper in here. I don't know why. I think I ran out of paper towel. And then I was like, oh, well, we have toilet paper. Yeah. I was too lazy to go downstairs and actually get paper towels, so I just grabbed toilet paper. My bad. I should grab another trigger. COVID-19 roleplay. I question if I should joke about it because it's like, oh, genuinely issue that like serious thing happened, you know, like actually, but also, I don't know, man. That whole thing was like a blur, dude. I was like 12 or 13. Okay, why did they call it COVID-19 if it happened in 2020? That's so stupid. Anyway. You know, I find it funny when people are like, you know when people are like, when you don't, you know how it's like, oh, when you type like LOL, you don't actually laugh, and when you type ha ha ha, okay, like when people type ha 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 in like all caps, it scares me. I'm like, like I don't. I have an earbud that's dead in my ear. Anyways, like it actually kind of scares me because it feels so sarcastic, and I know it's not. And I know it's like I need to chill because like literally it just means someone's laughing, okay? But like when you actually hear, I don't think I've ever actually heard someone like laugh like ha 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 in real life. Like it, maybe that's why it feels like so weird when I like my laughing. I will either say, I usually like keyboard smash, like it's like that's what my laughing is over text. Anyways, but like when it's like, anyway, and what I was saying earlier, when I was like, you know, people are like, I like LMAO, or like LOL, or like hehehe, or something. Oh yeah, my laughing is usually either hehehe or like he, or keyboards. I got a dust in my eye. It's either keyboard smashing or yeah. Anyways, or like LOL. I don't like. I use lol as like when I say something and then I'm like too anxious to actually say something, so I'm like lol because I'm anxious. So I just go lol. You smell like poop. LOL. I can't think of an actually good example, but you know, It's like I use it as like I'm not serious. Probably like a dog hair mouth. Anyways, I was saying earlier, like, you know how people are like, oh, if you actually like text that you're laughing, you're dying over text. Like, and then it's like you're not actually dying. Well, not actually dying, but like you're not actually laughing. It's like if I text that I'm laughing, I'm probably genuinely like wheezing to myself. Like I'm like because I genuinely stare at a wall and I pretend I'm having a conversation with someone, and I'm like because I say something really funny and then it makes me laugh like so much, and I'm pretending someone else is sitting there like concerned for my safety, and they're like, oh my goodness, because honestly that's kind of how some people act. Like they're like, oh my goodness, there's something wrong with you, and I'm like, yeah. No one actually talks like that. Hopefully. I have never encountered someone who actually talks like that. Unironically. Once I do, I think my world will die. Because I'm like, what? Or maybe I won't, you know? My world won't die. What am I? I'm hyperbolizing. I think it's like 11, dude. I probably should go to sleep. I'm literally just talking to myself. My videos are pretty much just me talking to myself and then tapping on things. That's, you know, I love that I have an audience from that. I made like $2. I make $2 per video off of me being a silly goose. I don't know. I did make like $3 off a video once, and I was like, from ad revenue, I was like, oh my gosh, dude. What? I think that's the one video that I had and I was like holding up a pill bottle. I somehow like, that's probably like one of my best performing videos ever. I try to replicate that, but also not replicate. Like I want the same vibe, but also I feel like if I want to just be like in another, you know, where I dramatically just like forehead reveal. You know that? I dramatically do that. My hair is probably dry now, but like this feels like a vibe. Okay, I'm cozy. Okay, I'm comfy. Okay, like I'm chilling. I'm eepy. I get when I'm sleepy, I get like, when I'm around most people, when I'm like around most people, it's like I get like tired and I'm like, go away. Please. I want to be alone. Mainly because my brain just wants to be like, it's like I get loopy. I look a little silly, a little goofy, you know what I mean? Like, does sound like I was like implying something? I sometimes just say, you know what I mean? And it sounds like I'm like making like an implication, like I'm like, I'm like, you know, if you know, you know. But it's like I'm literally just saying, I'm like, does this make any sense what I'm saying? Please say that I am making sense, because I feel like I'm going insane if I don't. If you're gonna tell me I'm not actually making sense, just tell me, or else I'm gonna just feel like I'm going insane. That's what I say every time I'm like, usually when I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not implying, I'm not like a if you know, kind of thing. You know. Why does it sound like I'm doing like a 19 something? Like, I can't think of how to actually do the voice off the top of my head. Like, you know, first thing I can think of off the top of my head of what I'm trying to like, the voice I'm trying to think of, it's like, you know, like the not news reporter, what am I saying? Like the little radio guy. Okay, okay, like on like, have you seen like, if you seen like Legend of Korra, that show, which people hate on it so much. It makes me sad. Anyways, if you seen like Legend of Korra, literally just like the like announcer dude with the radio. I haven't seen Legend of Korra in a hot second. You know, I think like people just like I think people just hate on Legend of Korra because of how much drama there is in the show for no reason, and it's like, that's fair, dude. That's fair. But also, don't say the show sucks as a whole, cause like it's actually a really insanely like in-depth show, like a cool show, okay? And then some people just hate it, and they're like, because stinky, because it's not as good as Avatar. And it's like, okay, you think you're gonna be Avatar? No, you're not. Don't compare it to Avatar, just look at it as its own show. You stupid. Sorry, I'm not stupid. No, I'm gonna call you stupid if you're gonna be like, oh no, it's not as good as Avatar. Did you want it to be? Did you expect it to be? No. But that doesn't mean it's a bad show. Okay? It's still a good show. It's still a great show. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just I don't understand the hate. Okay. Like, okay, I understand the hate if you're purely looking at it from a lens of like, if the only other show to ever exist is Avatar, yes, Korra would look worse. Okay. I think the 4th season is mainly what I remember it from. Or just like certain parts of the 4th season. And throughout the show. I don't know, the 4th season was kind of a banger. It was also kind of depressing. Also, the whole show was depressing. I don't know what I'm saying, as it was kind of, the whole show was depressing. Maybe that's why people hate it. It's a lot more depressing than Avatar. Maybe that's why people don't like, cause like, maybe it's like a nostalgia thing, and it's like, most people don't like the people who don't like Korra, who then like Avatar. I think it's then because like Avatar is a lot more silly, like lighthearted, goofy, while it still does go like, it still does have like, gets darker. It's most of the time a lot more upbeat in comparison to Korra, Legend of Korra, where it does get a lot darker, mainly because all the characters are a lot older, so that makes sense why it gets a lot darker with the themes, and like it is more depressing and sad. So it's like, you know what, actually I do understand logically why people don't like Korra, but also stop just comparing it to Avatar. I don't know, you can look at a show from just it being a show, and you don't have to critique it purely off of, well, it wasn't as good as the show it's based off of, and like the original, and the only way you can say it'd be like, well, it's not as good as the show, it's like the original show, is if we're talking about like the live action version of Avatar Last Airbender. I think, was there a remake of it? I'm saying like the original movie thing, remake. I haven't seen their newer one. I think there's a newer one. I might be wrong, I don't know. But poo poo butt stinky fart. That live action. Girl, what were they thinking? The way that in that original, like that in that live action, they were like, so like, they really thought they were gonna have like a book 2, not chapter 2, book 2. They really were like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a second one. Girl, what was that, like, firebending CGI? Girl, what? Girl, you think you're gonna have a second? Girl, no, you shouldn't have had a first. Get out of here. So, you know, thank God they never did a second one, though I would have giggled at that so hard, because it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Dude, I haven't rewatched it. Not even just, like, comparing it to Avatar. It's bad. No, it's just bad in itself. Even if it's, like, a standalone thing, it's awful. It's god-awful. Dude. Like, the live action. Like, that original live action. I haven't seen the newer live action remake thing that I think exists. No, it exists. That exists, right? Maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. But, like, you know, I haven't seen that newer one. So, no comments on it because I don't know anything about it. I don't even know if it exists, I guess. Yeah. But that original live action, who signed off on any of that? Any of it? Any part of it? I don't. Anyways, this went from me rambling, to me ranting about Avatar and Legend of Korra because I started doing a little 1920s sounding noise. And I was like, you know, Legend of Korra. You know Legend of Korra? I'm gonna talk about that now. Oh my gosh, Avatar Last, okay, I just remembered something, Avatar Last Airbender. I hadn't, like, actually watched the whole show until I was, like, 11 or 12, probably 12 or 13, actually. And that was because I remember walking in on scenes of my sister watching it, and I remembered pretty much nothing. I just, wait. Anyways, I would remember walking in on, like, my sister, like, and she was, like, I was probably, like, 5. She was probably, like, 9. And I remembered certain scenes, and very few scenes. I remembered one scene particularly. So when I rewatched it when I was, like, 13 with my sister, I was then like, oh my gosh, I remembered this scene, this one scene. And she was like, how do you remember this one scene? And I'm like, girl, I don't know, but I know it. Okay, it's the one scene where Katara and Sokka are, like, sick. And then the one episode with, like, Katara and Sokka are sick, and then Aang has to get, like, stuff, and then he gets, like, a frog, or, like, frozen frogs, and then they're, like, you know that one? I remember that one. Just that one. That one scene. That one episode. I don't know why I'm saying scene, because the episode, I remember that episode. And the scenes of them being loopy, because they're sick, I guess. And then frog. I didn't remember anything past that, initially. And now trying to look back at it, I don't remember much of that actual initial episode. I don't remember much of that actual episode now, other than those scenes that I remember when I was 5. Even though I watched the whole show multiple times, I don't remember what the heck was happening in that episode. They were sick, and there was some frogs. That's what I remember from the show. Sleepy. I probably should sleep. I shall sleep. Farewell. Hope you're doing amazingly. Yay. Bye.